What up, Hyperchange? We live. We're doing it. Tesla earnings day. Sending you amazing vibes on this 4 time a year Super Bowl where we're going to get an update from Elon himself. Actually, that doesn't happen 4 times a year, but we're getting earnings. We're going to get an update. This is Tesla. We already know they delivered 307,000 cars in the quarter. For those who are tuning in, don't know what's happening. Teslaverse, it's like the biggest thing. They're about to release earnings. I put a link below in the description. We're all refreshing the page at 1 p.m. or a little after 1 p.m. When the market closes, they're going to release the shareholder letter, which has the best update in the business. I think like if you're trying to get an MBA, be learning about the business world, you should be following the best case study in business, and that's Tesla, and that's this update that we're about to get from the company. Like, what are they up to? What are they scheming? What are the plans for this year? And the big thing about this is that Elon has actually said he will be on this call to have a product roadmap update. So it's not as much about what they're gonna like say in the call. There'll be some great updates in the finances, but it's really about what's Elon gonna give us in the product update on the conference call. Cybertruck. He just tweeted he was driving around the Cybertruck. We all know the Austin factory is rumored to be pumping out Model Ys with 4680 cells right now. So that's like the gossip. I'm hoping Elon Musk confirms that, although I think he won't because they're not producing enough of this new battery to put in every car, so they don't want to have some new cars or cars with the new battery and some not. So they don't want to tell customers that. So I think they actually won't give guidance on that, other than say like the 4680 is ramping and we're using it in products, but they won't specify those products other than the Semi and the Megapack. It's out. Wow, the shareholder letter is out. Wait, is the shareholder letter out? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the so we're refreshing. If you want to see what I'm doing, this is my page. I'm literally just refreshing right now. I'll close all these windows. Just refreshing to wait for the shareholder letter right here. This is where the magic's gonna happen. Usually Tesla's been getting pretty fast about it, but technically the conference call is not till 2:30, so it could be a while. Yeah, but anyway, happy earnings day to everybody. So Elon is supposed to be on that call. That's the big news. I personally think the other big update we're going to get is on the FSD program. And you'll notice on the past conference calls, Tesla's been very shy about their FSD updates and the pricing strategy and what they're doing there, despite the fact that that is sort of the most interesting thing going on with the company. They're pushing all these updates for FSD. They're expanding that program. They're raising the price. Lots going on there. V11 is on the cusp of being released. So I think Elon is going to give us an update on FSD, on the Cybertruck, and potentially on the robo-taxi sort of vision for Tesla. I also think they're going to announce that the Austin factory is starting production, and that'll be a big thing. That's sort of like a big headline. Ooh, oh no, okay. I thought it was out, but it's not. Man, this is exciting though. Randomly, one kind of thread that I forgot about on the last conference calls that was epic was Zach Kirkhorn talking about how Tesla is looking at different crypto products. And I keep thinking, like on the interview I did with Rob Bauer recently, ooh, kilowatts, let's go. Thanks for the super chat. Shout out to the kilowatts. I'm actually driving through SF. I'm on a road trip, so maybe we'll link up. But the worlds of Tesla being the biggest energy company and owning all these energy producing assets, and then the world of cryptocurrency requiring energy to build a new financial system, I think is like such a big colliding of worlds that's about to occur. And I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get anything about that in this shareholder letter, but I'm throwing it out there. Oh, is my camera hitting my computer? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't realize my computer was in the screen. My bad. Okay, let's see. I keep refreshing. I'm waiting. Okay, also today, so right after this, I'm in LA. I'm kind of leaking an epic collab right now. The noise is my laptop fan. I'm about to get a new laptop when I get back, I promise. But I'm about to go collab with Ross Gerber and meet Kevin, I think. So I'm literally, right after this ends, I'm driving to Santa Monica to meet up with Ross, and then we're gonna listen to the call together, scheme, and then do a live stream with Ross in person, me and Ross live streaming today on Hyperchain. It's gonna be legendary. So you do not wanna miss that. So that's what I'm planning for the rest of the day. And yeah, it's my laptop fan. It's going away. I have like a system in place, so it should be going away in a sec. But I am about to just buy a new laptop. Shout out to my Patreons because not sponsored, and they're gonna help me get a new laptop so I have no more fan noise on my live streams, which is gonna be epic. And okay, wait, I'm getting off track. Shareholder letter. Okay, still not out. We're refreshing. If you're just joining the party, this is the refresh we're doing. Tesla on the cusp of announcing literally its best earnings ever. They're gonna make billions of dollars in profit, not an exaggeration. And I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. As much hype as there is for this quarter, and like you see all the Tesla bulls being like, if the stock's down, it's like earnings are better than ever, but the stock is down. Like, what's happening? You know, it's like, well, there's a lot priced into Tesla stock, and it's soaring. And I think the market already knows there's going to be an insane amount of like profit and earnings. We already know the deliveries were good. So if anything, I think the market's reaction to this will be disappointed because there's so, you have to think about the psychology of everyone thinking, oh, it's out, it's out, it's out, it's out. This is why I love y'all. Thank you for hitting me on the chat. It's out. Is it really out? We're refreshing. I'm refreshing. Is it out? I mean, that's just a fair way to troll me in the chat, is to just say it's out when it's not. Because is it not? Ooh, it's out. It's out. All right, this is it, folks. Wow. Hey, super chat. Thank you, Lord Palmerston, killing it. All right, we're here. We're doing it. Get ready. Oh my God, butterflies. 2021 was a breakthrough year for Tesla. There should be no longer doubt about the viability and profitability of electric vehicles. With our deliveries up 87%, we achieved the highest quarterly operating margin among all volume OEMs based on the latest available data, proving that EVs can be more profitable than the internal combustion engine. Oh my God. All right, we just got to get to the results here. Oh my God. All right, what's going on here? 1.5 billion in operating cash flow of 2.8 billion in the quarter, 2.6 billion in GAAP operating income. That's a record. I think it's going to be a little bit less than what people were expecting. And they're talking about millions of vehicles, 0.94 million vehicles now, not even in thousands. Annual run rate of 1.22 million. All right, we knew all of this. Software remains one of our primary areas of focus. Or sorry, I'm going to pull up the chat that I have with y'all. Wow. Okay. Here we go. So here are the numbers. We're looking at 15.9 billion of revenue. Is that right? Wow. 16 billion in revenue, 30.1% gross margin, insane gross margin post here yet again. 71% top line. Or no, this is just automotive. Whoops, my bad. 17.7 billion in revenue, 65% growth on that. Gross profit of 4.8 billion, up 135%. So this is like the biggest lever that we're seeing in Tesla's business model. They're growing their top line at 65%, but how is their profits growing at 135? Because they're getting more profitable per unit. And this is such a strong tailwind that because of manufacturing and, you know, the new 4680 cell, them getting better at building more FSD revenue, like this is not going to stop and going to continue. And I think that's the operating leverage that is why people are giving this the high price earnings multiple, and even justifying a growth company valued at higher than 70% growth or 65% growth, because their gross earnings power on the gross profit level of the income statement is growing 135%. And then their expenses are only growing 50%. So our income from operations is up 354%. You literally, like the amount of operating leverage in Tesla's business model, it's like, oh, you have all these fixed costs, right? There's like this massive thing of fixed costs. And now that Tesla's able to get a little bit of profit, the fixed costs are the same. All this incremental profit from all these new vehicles sold is going straight to the bottom line. And we're kind of just seeing like this insane flywheel of profitability occur. Wow. Holy shit. Is this right? Q4 cash flow 4.6 billion, which is up from 3.1 billion last quarter. So in a single quarter, Tesla's business produced 4.6 billion. So you got to think about that. 4.6 billion times 4, that's like 20 billion, almost 18 billion of annualized cash flow for Tesla as an asset. So at a trillion divided by 18 billion, we're looking at like a 55 times or 2%, 1.8% yield of cash flow. So what bond is yielding 2% with that 2% growing in a massive way? Like nothing. So when you think about Tesla being an asset, this is why to me it's not cheap at a trillion. I see us hitting 2 trillion real quick, especially just because of this number right here. Like at the end of the day, Tesla's an asset. Is it producing asset, or is it producing cash or burning cash? We have gone so far to the producing cash range, and we're producing so much that, yeah, damn. That to me is the highlight of the whole quarter, 4.6 billion. Let's see what's good with energy revenue, because I thought that was gonna. Solar deployments, 85 megawatts, down 1%. Damn, and energy storage, 978 megawatts. So a little bit of a bummer quarter for energy, but that's lumpy, and they're focused on vehicles, so that's not the end of the world, but it is important to note. Okay, here are some of the updates. Okay, I'm gonna pull up your chat now. I wasn't reading your chat, now I got the chat. So let me know if you have anything. Wow, so the current production capacity here, a little over 1 million cars. Tesla Semi, still not saying where they're building the Semi or the Roadster, and the future product, that's the Robotaxi. In Q4, we saw a continuation of challenges. Wow, builds of the Model Y started in late 2021 at Gigafactory Texas. That's what we've been waiting on. The rumor that they are starting to build the Model Y, that is happening. That's huge. maximizing Fremont. Production of Model 3 and Y continue to ramp further throughout 2021. Local production is essential. Gigafactory Shanghai is our main export hub. That's interesting now. Europe is going to be using 2170 cells. Ooh, this is hella interesting. Okay, Europe and Berlin is going to be using 2170 cells to build the car for the Model Y. They're putting that right. Oh, you can't see me because I'm in your way. Uh-oh, sorry. This right here, most important part. And then here for Texas, they don't say what batteries they're using for the Model Ys. So my read is 2170s for the Model Ys in Berlin. Model Ys in Texas are going to be running on the 4680s, which is fascinating because if you go back to Elon tweets, he used to say that the 4680s were going to happen in Berlin first. They're pumping them out at Cato, building up a backlog, and then while they're spinning up the machines at these new factories, they're going to send the batteries there from Cato Road to get those production lines off the ground. But we thought they were going to be sending those to Berlin, not Austin. Now they're sending them to Austin, not Berlin. So I don't know what that means. I actually think that's kind of smart because it's like, first of all, the Germans, like, I don't know, like the European market is already killing it with the 2170s. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. And maybe like Austin's the headquarters, so that's the best place to iterate quickly. So that's the best place to try to set up the first battery line. I don't know. Anyway, I'm reading here. Also, hit me in the chat if there's any comments that crazy comments that I missed or any interesting stuff that I missed. Wow. Okay, this is a huge tidbit here. So FSD beta has increased from a couple thousand vehicles to nearly 60,000 vehicles in the US today. So that's huge. 60,000 people, just the US, have FSD beta. I mean, that's probably 3x of what I thought it was. So think about, and there's still not been a single crash in FSD beta. I mean, this is insane. Wow. Okay, so FSD beta is huge. And it's interesting. Look at these charts here. Vehicle delivery growth. This is insane. Tesla just trouncing the entire industry. Oh my God. I love that. Okay, let's look at this battery powertrain manufacturing. COGS per vehicle dropped to 36,000. Should continue to minimize. Wow. So now they're talking about product costs, saying it cost us 36 grand to build that Model Y that you bought for 50 grand. But with this new structural pack, the 4680 cells, we can continue to minimize product costs. So cost reductions from the manufacturing level are going to continue. Energy storage, 32% increase in 2021, driven by Megapack. Demand remains substantially above capacity. Growth has been limited by supply. Building a dedicated factory. I don't know. I'm still not buying that because they always say that, and they always say this year we're going to double. This year it's going to go crazy, but then it never does. So that's kind of I don't know. Solar deployments. Let's see if we can get some clarity on why this is such a bummer. Solar deployment, roof deployments tripled. That's good, and growing sequentially. Just sound like it's going very slow to actually integrate the solar roof into stuff, though. Residential. Ooh, I mean, I guess they're saying we're focusing on residential solar deployments, and those are actually doing well now. So they are trying to pitch us on this bright spot in the energy business, but I don't know. I still think it's a disappointment. And I always say it's going to turn around next year, but I'm always wrong, so I don't want to say that again. It's not that it's not turning around. It's still growing, but okay. 50% growth annually. Wow. Supply chain will limit growth, but about 50%. And I love how Tesla's gotten vague on their guidance. They don't want to get too specific and get it wrong. 50% growth. They're basically not saying anything. We know they're already building cars at a 1.2 million run rate. They delivered 9.94 million last year. 50% growth on that's like 1.35 million or 1.4 million. But I think they're going to crush that because they're already at 1.22. We're going to be looking at like 1.6, 1.7 million. But it all depends on how fast they can ramp these new products. And there's a lot of risk going on. And that's what they're saying. We're progress on the Cybertruck. Currently planned for Austin production subsequent to Model Y, but they're not saying exactly when the Cybertruck will happen. Ooh, the pictures. This is my favorite part. Wow. I mean, the Tesla fact. Wow. Oh, I think this is Berlin graffiti. This is sick. I love how Tesla like integrates local artists and kind of like Berlin is a super artsy city with awesome graffiti everywhere, so it just seems so on point they did that for the factory. Wow. I mean, how beautiful does that look? The quality control and Berlin. Look at that lighting thing. The robots. General Assembly. I was just in Berlin. I gotta say, this factory is so clean, so dope. There it is. Oh no, this is Texas. Massive. And that's what I think is interesting. Like, I was talking to Ross Gerber this morning about Tesla, and we're like, wait, it's so funny how GM is like, and I think this is gonna happen on the conference call. Look at this factory right here. Look at how big this is. This is the crown jewel of America. Tesla's building literally the world's largest factory in the entire world, the world's largest factory in the entire world, and it's going to be in Austin. It's going to be in the US. It's going to bring so many jobs. It's going to be such a boon to the economy. It's going to electrify all of America with all this amazing technology, and nobody's talking about it. And what's the Biden administration doing? They're like talking about how awesome GM is and how good GM's investment is in new factories. I actually think we might not even be looking at Tesla style stuff on this conference call, but straight up political style stuff, where Elon wants to send a message to politicians being like, why will you not acknowledge me? Why are you ignoring Tesla? I think it's so interesting that our politicians have been bought off by the unions, and that we have this crazy like dichotomy of Washington saying we need to go green as fast as possible. We support electric vehicles. Look at how much money GM's investing. And then what is the reality on the ground in the actual real world happening here that isn't just a press room that the White House is running? GM selling 26 electric cars, literally 26. Tesla sold 307,000. That's not like that's like actually what the numbers are. So, and then Tesla's building this massive new factory. GM's sales numbers are down because nobody's buying their product. And yet we're living in this massive duality of the current US government refusing to acknowledge this amazing like opportunity, economic opportunity and technological opportunity that's happening in our own backyard. And I think Elon's going to call that out on the conference call, and that could be like a really powerful kind of dope moment. And so I think he will, even if he doesn't directly call it out, will flex on it and be like, we run the biggest car factory in North America. It's Fremont. Nobody thought building a factory in California was a good idea. It was literally an abandoned factory by GM, and we took it over in the highest taxes, most annoying place to work with the most competitive jobs, and made it work. And it's all the other factories are shutting down. It's growing. I mean, that's insane. And now this is the thing they're building the new version of that's going to be twice as big. And so anyway, the W's are adding up. Wow. I mean, honestly, Tesla's photography, like, this is art to me. I want to get like a poster of this, right? Like, is this not dope? The seat factory. Okay, this is actually a fun fact about Tesla because I'm on my road trip. Tesla makes their own seats in-house, and they are so much comfier than any other seats. They have amazing support. You can sit in them for super long car rides. They're made with vegan leather, which is dope because the carbon emissions of that, the animal suffering, like I'm not vegan myself, but I think it's just dope that they use this synthetic leather that cleans super well, that feels amazing, that doesn't get too hot. So it's like they disrupted leather, they disrupted the chair. I don't know, it's just a micro example of nerding out about Tesla, about how far they go to just make their products better. Gigafactory Shanghai, massive, getting bigger. Is this the building where they're building batteries or the robo-taxi that they won't tell us they're working on? Who knows? General Assembly. Ooh. This is better than them telling us they're starting semi-production. And I've actually been seeing a lot of gossip about the new mega pack that's been going up. They're installing these mega chargers. And so this is so dope for Tesla. Like they're installing all of the chargers to make this trucking infrastructure boom. And now we're going to pump out the semi. I think this is like, I don't know, as kind of just a fan of like the future Tesla's building, this product gets me super exciting because driving on my road trip, like, trucks are super big, they're super unsafe, passing them is super stressful. It's a really bad job to be a truck driver. Like, it's really bad for your health, it's stressful, it's not good for your body. Like, there's just a lot we need to change about it. And with the internet economy, I think the reliance on trucking is only increasing and will continue to increase. And so the focus on like, how do we make our trucks more sustainable? How do we make them safer? How do we make the roads more efficient from a traffic perspective by coordinating them better? Like, this is all such a room for opportunity that Tesla's tackling. And it's a massive $1 trillion segment they haven't even scratched the surface of. So this is why the semi-truck to me is such a powerful thing. And when I went to Autonomy Day, and this is in Palo Alto, they had a semi-truck there. This was a few years ago. One of the semi-truck dudes was working there. And he was like talking to me about it. And he's like, look, like, semi-trucks are only 3% of the vehicles on the road, but they're like, 40% of emissions or something. Like, we can make such a big impact here. And I also think road safety is big. But so Tesla Semi, get ready for that. Talk is cheap, but 4 semis in a row charging, moving stuff, that's progress. Cumulative profitability since inception. This is a baller chart, just showing that they made back all the money they lost and more. Gotta love that. Oh man, this is just up and to the right. Other startups, take note. This is what we want your financials to look like. I mean, this is the chart that says it all. Tesla produced 4.6 billion of cash flow. Like, dude, there's no way I'm selling my Tesla stock under 1,000. I mean, it's just so cheap. I'm like, well, what's Tesla stock doing right now? Have you guys been following the after hours? Down 2%. Okay. And it's funny because I know everyone's like, oh, like, golly, the stock's falling, like crumbling. It's like, okay, first of all, we are long. Well, I can't speak for you, but I'm a long-term investor, right? Like, I'm buying and holding this company for the long run. Like, I don't care what Wall Street is saying. I don't care what CNBC is saying. I don't care about the analyst estimates or like what the stock's down. Oh, it's down 4% after hours. Now it's down 3%. Now it's down 2%. Now it's up 1%. Like, you're just totally wasting all of your time by looking at all of that. The only thing you should be looking at or reading is just the data that came out from the company. Like, did they have a good quarter? Did they make a lot of money? Are they progressing on the things that I think are important to build the company that I'm investing in? Yes, 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 yes. So it's a dope quarter. Like, who cares if the stock's down 5%? If you let that get into your psyche and mood, like, you're tripping. So I actually stopped even checking the stock market. Like, I know this sounds ridiculous. Like, obviously I check it sometimes, but like, I don't check the market. Like, today I didn't check. That's why I didn't know what Tesla stock did today, because I literally don't check it, because who cares? I'm a long-term investor. Like, oh, it's up 1% today, down 1% tomorrow, up 1% the next day, down 1% the next day. Like, such a waste of your life and energy to just constantly check stock prices. So that's what I'd say. Who gives a shit about the stock price? We're buying businesses. The business has never been more on fire. It's a decade of crushing it, and 4.5 billion in cash flow is about to look like peanuts compared to what we're putting up in a few quarters. So that's all I care about. And to me, that's justifying $2 trillion market cap in this environment. Even if inflation happens, even if things crumble, I think we're at least a $700 trillion company, even with financials getting hit because of a mega recession. And so that's where I'm at. And this is the math that backs it up. This is why I don't care what analyst estimates are. I don't care what CME. It's just like, what's good with the cash flow? How much cash did we add to our bank account versus last quarter? That's what matters. That's first principles of finance right there. That's what Elon would be looking at. And it's 4.5 bill, and it's just growing way faster than vehicle deliveries or revenue. So that tells you what you need to know. Okay. So I think that's it. Let's run back to the numbers to just see how awesome they look. Okay, here are the overall numbers from Tesla for 2021. Annually, we're looking at 54 billion in revenue, up 71%, 13.6 billion in gross profit, up 105%. Operating expenses only growing 50%, which equaled to 227% growth in income from operations to 6.5 billion from 2 billion. So they more than tripled their profit, and they just did 2.6 this last quarter. They're on pace to double this profit again next year. And free cash flow from operations, 11.5 for the whole year, 6.5 billion spent on factories. It's going to lead to massive growth next year. 5 billion added to the bank in terms of free cash flow. So, wow, epic. Okay, I'm just going to wrap it up and say epic quarter for Tesla. We knew the numbers were going to be great. They are amazing. Now it's all about the conference call. What is Elon Musk going to say? What's good with the Cybertruck? What's good with 4680? What's good with FSD? Those are the three things that I think Elon will update on that are super important. Cybertruck release date, Model Y, Osborning with new 4680s. What's good with that product lineup? I think they should do Model Y Plaid or something with the 4680s. And then that's how you introduce it at a higher price with a lower volume and market it to customers, and don't Osborne and navigate their transition. That's my take on it. And then FSD. What's good with FSD, pricing, rollout, all of that stuff. And I'm going to be covering this after the call live from LA with Ross Gerber, and maybe meet Kevin, which is just going to be a super fun party. So bring your Tesla tequila, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in a couple hours for that live stream. Have fun on the conference call. Like, it's going to be fun. So I can't wait. See y'all after. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for tuning in. Have a dope day. Peace.